Well, it's really affected us as far as therapists because we depended on the wheelchair vendors, the companies that had their vendors that had gone through special training to know about all the wheelchairs and all the components. So, excuse me, so we have had to deal with companies that have not had men or women that have had any education on what a wheelchair is, what the components are and everything. So it's really made it difficult to get the equipment, whether it be a wheelchair or, or just a scooter or whatever, to make it the appropriate one for the client that we have. Because every client is different and every client needs a different wheelchair, seating system, the footrest, armrest, everything. So they need to be made specific for each individual. Mm-hmm. Some of the issues that we've had now is like we've lost some of our mom and pop shops that have now been taken over or bought up by the bigger vendors, and so we're having some big issues with the wheelchair. The client had been evaluated, all the paperwork had been done, the doctor had signed the paperwork, and it's getting lost. So I have one client that the wheelchair evaluation was done back in the first part of June. And I had called about every 2 weeks to see what the status was on her wheelchair. Well, since the mom and pop shop was bought out by someone else, we still don't have the wheelchair. It is now here, but now the back is not on it because it has to be it's a custom-made back. So now we're into September. We're already 3 months on, and still she does not have the wheelchair that she needs. Consequently, she's ended up with some pressure sores and having to go to a wound clinic to have these taken care of. So there's an additional cost that probably would have not been necessary. I went through the training, and it's a pretty intense training to have your ATP after your name, have those acronyms. And I think the important thing is having a vendor have their people be licensed like we are, have the acronyms after their name, because that way you really get to know the components of the wheelchair, what is best for each individual. Because it's not like just a cookie cutter wheelchair. Each individual needs a different wheelchair. We need a different seating system, we need a different back system, we need a different way for them to use the toggle stick, or we may need something for a headrest. So if you don't have the people that have the qualifications, if you're just getting somebody, Joe Jones off the street or something to help you, they don't have that knowledge. And all that knowledge is quite beneficial for our clients.